Good morning, you guys. Just doing a recap. Haven't done one of these in a while. Normally in the mornings I'm just too busy or too lazy, but today I figured was a good day to do one. Uh, Today's a break-even day, unfortunately. I had some really good trades, but then a bunch of other ones that just didn't work out. But I don't really regret them, aside from one of them. So we'll go ahead and just look at the trades. This is not the order that I took them; it's just the order that they appear in my summary window because of alphabetical order. So we'll look at CSX first. CSX was a stock that it was gap opening down on the day, uh, and so I had it on my short list. And it did this nice consolidation in the morning. It would have been a great wedge to take for the breakdown, but I was looking at other things. So what I did was I was eyeballing it for this rejection off of VWAP. Now it didn't actually get to VWAP. It got a little close to it, and so it was rejecting the 20. So I thought this 20 rejection was the rejection I was looking for because it went up here. I just kept getting rejected. So as it was doing this wedging, I thought it was going to be break down and go lower, but unfortunately it didn't. Went back up, stopped me out, and then it just chopped around and continued to grind back up higher. So that was a trade on CSX. Don't really reject it. Don't really hate it. It's just it didn't work out, unfortunately. HD. HG was another trade on gapping down. This was another sold off looking for it. HD is maybe a trade I regret a little bit. It did its sell off in the morning, went back up, broke back up above VWAP, and then it came back down. And I was looking for it to break down below VWAP after this consolidation. But the fact that it broke up above VWAP is probably a sign I shouldn't have taken to the short side, or at least should have waited for confirmation. I got in above the 73 level. I should have waited for it to break down below 73 to take it short. So instead, it just chopped me out, and I only took I only took that trade once. It did this beautiful surge back up in rejection, but anyways, that was my one trade on HD. MS, Morgan Stanley. This is one of my good trades. It was one of my little ballsier trades, I should say. So let me go ahead and just set up the chart here really quick. It chugs a little bit when I try to do recordings with the screen with the pen tool on. So MS, no, it wasn't one of my ballsier trades. It was one of the good trades. So it was a gap down stock on earnings, and it was doing this consolidation, just kind of like wedging. So I did an initial trade on it when I thought it was going to be breaking this consolidation area. Went short. Unfortunately, it went back up against me, and I stopped out of VWAP. If I had a legit stop, my stop should have been up here. So I should have been willing to risk above 42.90 because that's where the previous candle highs were. That should have been my stop, but I'm a little more conservative than that, a little too anxious. So I got stopped out early right there. And then it held, it rejected again, and it was consolidating in an even tighter window. So I went short again based on the price action, went short here, and added it again after the break of this consolidation range right here. I added more shares, and then I just started to cover as I started to break down the range. These are all small covers. I think these are initial ones are 50, and then I started covering in 25 share lots. This was just a safety cover because it looked like it might be going back up. So I just want to make sure I just, again, be conservative, lock in some profits. Same thing here. I was worried it was going back up, so I covered some more. Then I just held and started doing little covers, and then eventually I just had a stop loss against VWAP, and it just stopped me out there. So that was MS, a good winning trade. I'm happy that I actually had the balls to add onto a winning trade. Had my initial and then added more when it was confirmed. So I'm happy about that one. PG. I think PG is the big. PG is the one I regret for today. It was stupid. I mean, the idea was pretty solid, but my execution was bad. So let me zoom out so you can see what I was saying. Okay. So PG, again, on the daily, I shouldn't have taken it because this daily is just sideways, pure sideways chop. And then on intraday, it surges up and it looked like it wanted to reject and go back down. So I took it short here initially for a break below VWAP, and it gave me some resolution. It went down, but I was hoping for more, so I didn't cover. And eventually went back up against VWAP, stopped me out. And here's why I was stupid. So that first trade, totally fine. These next trades were the stupid ones because I wasn't waiting for confirmation. It did this and bounced, right? So why would I go short up here? It didn't make any sense. So I went short, got stopped out. Stupid. Next time, again, I was still really anxious for this to go back down, but it didn't want to do that. So I went short. Again, a stupid time to go short. I should have waited for the break of this low. And then it just chopped and stopped me out. So that was PG. That was the first trade, not so bad. The following two trades were a waste, or they were BS, and it never broke this range. It's just chopping sideways. So that's PG. Sig was my this was my ballsy trade of the day. Another winner on very small share size. I got some pretty good profit. 50 shares. I made pretty much a point. So Sig, I mean, gapping down on earnings. And on these ones, there's normally like a pop in the morning for either shorts covering or just people trying to squeeze out shorts. So what I do is I leg into these with very small share size. So I took 3 small share size shorts on this big pop spike. I took some, and then as it started to kind of wind down, I just added onto the position because I was feeling more confident as the minutes went by in the opening range. And then I just started covering as it went down into these levels, covers. Nothing too fancy with these covers, just and then this was a little safety cover just to make sure. And was that a safety cover? Or was it my last cover? No, that was my final cover. I just didn't want it to go back up against me. It was just going to be going sideways from this point forward, I thought. So I just took my final cover there. But it was a pretty ballsy trade. I'm happy with my execution on it. You know, short into the pops, cover into the wash. That's the phrase. So that was SIG. That was my happy trade for the day. SQ was a mistake and not a mistake. So SQ was up for today. It's actually been grinding higher for the past couple days, doing that pattern. But it had surged up and it was selling. So it surged up in the morning and then was selling off, and then bouncing around, just slowly wedging. So I was looking for it to break this low of 67.50 and then continue down for not much range, but just for some profit. So I took a short here at 67.50, anticipating a break. Again, I always tell people, or tell myself anyways, but I also give advice to other people, wait for confirmation. Anticipation's fine and everything, if you have a proper stop and it's not too big a stop, but waiting for confirmation is always best. I mean, you'll lose a couple cents in slippage maybe, but you'll save more money in the end, I think, from all the stop outs from false breaks. So I took a short here. It didn't want to break. It went back up, and I had a very tight stop on this, and someone stopped me out. And then since it was, I'm sorry. So I had this wedge I was talking about here before, and as it was breaking back up above this wedge, I've noticed this pattern before, and the stock obviously is strong on the daily, so I took it long. And I just started covering into some levels. So I took covers here at this level, covered at the high of the day, and then it started to look like it was going to reject and go back down, and I just covered back here at this level. I was contemplating keeping my original stop, which was just break even, but I didn't. I moved it up, and had I held it, I would have caught this next leg higher. What can you do? That just happens sometimes. So I went back just green on the name because I had a full stop here on this one, and then I took some profits back. So I ended up green on that one. STX was, again, don't necessarily regret it. Execution could have probably been better. But STX was just sold off in the morning. I had a double sell off. It sold off initially, consolidated, sold off again. And that was going back up to VWAP. And so I was looking to take it for a rejection off of VWAP. So I thought this was it. It went up to the 20. It was coming back down. So I took a short here because I was thinking that was a rejection for VWAP and I was going to continue back down lower. But it didn't. It bounced there and went back up and stopped me out against VWAP. If anything, I should just wait for an actual rejection of VWAP. So it went up here to VWAP and it was rejecting and held, and it did this little flush down. Again, if I had taken that trade up here, I probably still wouldn't have stopped out. I mean, I probably wouldn't have taken any profits, really. Oh, that would have been like 30, 40 cents. I might have taken some profits here, but this trade wouldn't have worked out too well for me either if I had done that rejection off of actual VWAP because it just went back up higher. So those are my trades for the day. 2 good ones. The rest were losers that I don't necessarily hate. They just didn't really work out. If you guys have a different opinion on my losers, please feel free to chime in. Tell me what I might have missed that you saw. But those are my trades for the day. Ended up just pretty much flat for the day. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys had a good day trading.